Hey guys, Mr. Bergman here. Happy Monday to you guys. It's your last week of distance learning. You guys have been doing a great job. I'm super proud of you. Keep up the hard work. Again, last week, so grind this one out. We got a couple things to get through, and that is volume. Today we're going to go through volume of rectangular prisms, and Wednesday is volume of triangular prisms. And then Tuesday and Thursday are going to be practice problems off of Khan Academy and some more videos from that. So today, like I said, rectangular prism. There's some very important things to go through. But first, this is going to be kind of a slight review from 5th grade. We had a huge volume, surface area, all that stuff in 5th grade. And we're going to build off of that today. But to start, we have our rectangular prism here. Notice the beautiful drawing. Mr. Bergman is a very good artist sometimes. But we have, like I said, a rectangular prism. Our length right here, we have our measurements 5 feet. Our width is 3 feet. And our height is 2 feet. Now, when we look at that, we have our equation right here. Now, this is something very important to write down, okay? Because you're going to need this. So your volume equation for a rectangular prism, a cube, would be length times width times height. Okay, length times width times height. Again, something important to write down. But when you're going through this, this is super easy just to plug in. You have 5 feet, 3 feet, and 2 feet. Your length is 5 feet. Okay, your width is 3 feet. And your height is 2 feet. Now, obviously, when you have these numbers plugged in, all you got to do is multiply. 5 times 3 is 15. 15 times 2 is 30 feet. Now with volume, now before I get ahead of myself, area, we did squared units. Now for volume, we're doing cubed units. So we put a little 3 up here. Okay, and I know I'm looking at the screen, it's super hard to see, but there is a little 3 that notifies you that this is a volume answer. Okay, very, very, very simple. Now, what we're going to change here. Any questions? No? Good. I'm glad you guys aren't blurting today. You guys are doing an awesome job. Thanks for listening. No arguing with Mr. Bergman. I like it. This is how class should be every single day. I appreciate it. Oh, thanks for laughing at my jokes. You guys are the best. You guys are the best. Now, when we're going through this, now we're going to throw in a little bit different numbers here. Now, you're going to see these in your practice problems today, but we're going to be working with fractions here and mixed numbers. So we have 1 and 1/4. We have 2 1/2, and we have 3. We'll worry about the units later, but we'll start with these fractions right here. Okay. Now, if you remember, I'm just going to move this a little closer for you. If you remember, when we multiply fractions, we have to change them into mixed numbers. So I'm going to set this up first. We're going to talk about length times width times height. We have a length of 1 and 1/4 times 2 1/2 times 3. Okay. Now, when you multiply, this is something that goes back to almost the beginning of the year, but we're changing these improper fractions to mixed numbers. Now, to do that, you take your whole number times your denominator. 1 times 4 is 4, plus the numerator, which is 5. So this, as a mixed number, is 5/4. Do the same thing over here. 2 times your whole number times your denominator. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is also 5. And that is going to be over the original denominator. This as a fraction is obviously 3/1. So now we have something a little different here. I'm going to scroll it down there. Okay, perfect. Okay. Now, when you multiply, I'm just going to start with one problem here. These two right here. Okay, so I'm going to ignore this one. I'm going to put this right over it for now. You multiply your numerators, multiply your denominators. 5 times 5 is 25. 4 times 2 is 8. And now I can multiply it by this one over here. So 3 over 1. Okay, so I brought this down. 25 times 3 is 75. I'll write this in blue. 75, and then 8 times 1 is 8. Now, you got to this point, you know that Mr. Bergman loves when his mixed number or his improper fraction is changed to a mixed number. So we're going to do that. 8 goes into 75 9 times, and there is 3 left over. So 9 and 3/8 would be your answer. Now, that's a pretty big review from the beginning of the year. That's a very big concept, okay? Multiplying fractions. Remember, you change your mixed numbers to improper fractions, multiply your tops, multiply your bottoms. When you do all of your numbers, then you can change it to a mixed number again, okay? Other than that, guys, that's the big concept for today is multiplying fractions, finding your area or your volume for rectangular prisms. But nothing too much more. I got 7 problems for you out of the book, so stay tuned for that. Make sure you look at that on Google Forms. I know Google Forms has been kind of picky. Work with me on it. I try something new every single time, and it kind of comes back to bite me a little bit. But I'm trying to make it easier for you guys, and the thing is, you got a week left, so just work with it. I'm giving you points. I'm looking at your answers, and if they're the right answers, I'm giving you points for them, even if the label was wrong or if you got marked wrong. So don't freak out about that or anything. I'm here for you. Just email me something if you really do have a question. But other than that, you should be good to go. All right. Have a great Monday, guys.